Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about common age-related problems on a Lincoln MKZ ranging from 2013 to 2020. These are all age-related problems that I will be discussing in this video. I will not be talking about engine reliability in this video as I have several other videos discussing common engine issues and general reliability on this vehicle, so check that out. I'll leave it in the description below. People are driving the crap out of their MKZs. I myself have over 200,000 miles on my Lincoln MKZ Hybrid. Some have way more than I do. The MKZ is over 10 years old now, at least some model years are, so it's not a new vehicle anymore. There are some common issues to look out for that myself and other MKZ owners have noticed, so I'll be going over some of those issues. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and show your support to my channel. It has grown a lot and it's all thanks to you guys for your continuous support. The goal is to get to 7,000 subscribers, so let's see if we can make it happen. Let's get on with the video, shall we? The first common problem is a faulty backup camera. This is an issue that comes with the age of the vehicle. You will either see a message like this when in reverse, or the camera picture quality is not what it used to be. After years of driving, the camera connector gets all dirty. Most of the time you can get away by cleaning out the camera connector located in the trunk, but the other scenario is where you'll have to replace the entire backup camera. If you bring it to the dealership, it's about $500 US according to other Lincoln MKZ owners. If you can do it yourself, it's about $50. The backup camera can be found on Amazon for $50, and it takes about 2 hours to replace it. Luckily, I haven't had any issues with my camera yet, thankfully. If you're having backup camera issues, search up this issue on the Lincoln MKZ Facebook groups, and some owners have given a step-by-step guidance on how to replace it. Common problem number 2 is faulty controls on the Sync 2 system. This is more of a common problem on the 2013 to 2016 models where the HVAC controls and radio inputs stop working. The slides don't respond to your input. You'll have to use the screen to access the radio and HVAC controls. For this is usually a bad HVAC module, or sometimes the whole control panel needs to be replaced. This is where the owners should take advantage by upgrading to Sync 3 and even replacing the control panel as well to the newer ones with the knobs and buttons. This is definitely something you should be aware of before buying a used MKZ. Luckily for me, even after 200,000 miles, I haven't had this issue yet, so fingers crossed. All my slides, all my haptic touches, they all work pretty well. Wheel speed sensor. The wheel speed sensor is a very common issue on these vehicles as they age. A faulty wheel speed sensor will throw all kinds of lights on your dash, and you will lose a lot of functions such as the power steering, adaptive lighting, and the adaptive suspension. It also cuts power when you're driving, which I've had happen on my MKZ before, and it's kind of scary when you're driving because you have no power for a couple of seconds. I made a full video on how to replace the wheel speed sensor, so make sure to check that out in the description below. The wheel speed sensor goes bad on these as they age because dirt and debris get stuck into the sensor housing. Don't just clean it out and put the sensor back in. It's best to replace the entire sensor. They're only about $25 a piece on Rock Auto for the Motorcraft ones, so don't be cheap, just replace the entire sensor. The fourth common problem are the parking sensors. especially on the front bumper. They tend to fall inside the bumper. This will trigger your parking sensor alarm inside the vehicle, which can be very annoying, especially at lower speeds. Since the MKZ is a very low car, the front bumper scrapes especially on speed bumps and any sort of bumps. This causes the sensor to loosen up and fall inside the bumper. As you can see, one of mine has fallen and the other ones are about to fall in. As you can see, they're not really held up well in place. I can't complain, it's got over 200,000 miles on it. Each sensor is about $50 on Amazon. I'm going to jack up the vehicle and I'm going to see if I can access it from inside the bumper. Last but not least, the suspension. This is a given for any car that is over 10 years old and has racked up some mileage. Your suspension will start to go out. Replacing the suspension is not a big deal on this vehicle, it's just the cost of the suspension. These come with electronically adjustable suspension, so each shock is about $200 a piece. You can replace it with passive shocks for the Ford Fusions, but I really like the electronic suspension, so I'm just going to replace it with an electronic suspension. My rear shocks are going out. I'm hearing a lot of clunking back here when I go over bumps, but all the settings like normal, comfort, and sport seems to be working fine. And I have no error messages on the dash as well, so I'm just going to keep running these shocks a little bit longer until it's definitely time to change them. Since my Tesla has taken over my long commutes, the MKZ doesn't get used anymore like it used to, but this summer is going to get back into action, so I think I'm going to replace the shocks in the summer. That's going to be it for today's video, folks. Hope you all enjoyed, and see you all next time.